Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Emil II. It is a tier 9 Swedish heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn. Is it north spawn? I think it's the north spawn of Himmelsdorf Encounter, and it's under the command of Marky. Game started. Now, encounter battle. So, most of the people are near the top of the hill. Oh, GWE comes flying past. I think he's trying to get to a firing position. In fact, there's a bit of a traffic jam here. But very slow to get up the hill to start with. Marky 12. Now, 3 shots in the magazine. Which gun has he got? We'll find out any second. Right, he's got the 120mm, which is capable of 440 Alpha. That's the top gun. And I said, well, he's got very good gun depression on this this tank. Oh, what is that Centurion 7-1 doing? He's backed into him and lost some hit points in the process. Okay, there's the enemy, and well, that one doesn't go through. He did get that one into the Centurion and pulled back just before the next shot went in. So 3 shots fired, only 1 connected. 459 hit points though, which is a high roll. You can see the well-angled front of that turret. It's almost a ricochet straight off the turret if the shell hits the right angle. And here comes that Centurion again. And he ducked back down below before the Centurion could fire. I think he's just going to hold this position so he can use the gun depression and that angle on the turret to effectively avoid being hit. But it seems the enemy's doing rather well because they've sent up a huge number of tanks up to the top of the hill. And here comes a T-57 heavy. That one didn't go through. That did! And that one as well, so he's got 2 connections there. First one was a high roll, 483. The second one was a low roll, 398. But 1.3k of damage so far. And you see he's moved over to the left because you can get better gun depression shooting at an angle at those tanks which are around the front of the castle. Okay, he's pulling up to get shots on the Centurion. No, he's killed. Okay, T-57 heavy again. And that connected as well, 399. And another one, 434. Still got 1 shot in the magazine though. Is he going to opt for a reload? No, he's going to go for that 705 and puts a round into his turret. 4112. Now, reload time 25 seconds or near enough. It's 24.47. Which is quite long when you consider that T-57 Heavy will actually reload 4 shells in the same amount of time. But you can see that Marky's decided he needs to get away from here because the enemy has conquered all of our tanks on top of the hill. And he's now trying to pick the right position to defend. And he's decided he's not going to go any further down the hill because if he did, they'd shoot him into his ass as he gets to the bottom. We've got a T-50 just around the corner. Wait for it. Needs to pick the right moment. He's got 3 shells loaded, but he's just checking what's behind him. We've got T-110E5 coming up to help out. That guy's got 3 marks on his tank, so don't crowd the corner. Okay, here comes the Conqueror, and 1 in, kill shot, yes! So got rid of him. 1 more shell for the T-50, yes, got that one in as well, but took a round in return for 346. The E5's gonna go up and see what he can do further up the hill. Oh, put a big hit into that T-50, pulled back immediately. And he's decided to go back up on top of the hill. It looks like most of the enemy actually went down the other side rather than this side. It was only the T-50 that made the mistake of coming down this way, and that Centurion, of course, who met his doom. Such a slow crawl up the hill. Well, the scores are fairly even. There's only one tank in it at the moment, or two tanks in it now. So there's only three of them left. They're Arty and the GWE 100, as we saw right at the start. He's back in that square near the standard spawn. And of course this T110E5, who's now engaging a Striv 103B, who stayed behind to guard their rear. Or did he just decide that he wanted to use that position that shoot down on enemy tanks below? Here we go, using the wreck for cover. Pull up and round the corner and right to the side of the Striv. Yep, one shot in. Go for the next one. Oh, yes! Now, 705, one in. It's a one shot now. If we can get a normal roll. And the E5 makes him a one shot for sure. But we're still in reload. So it's an uncomfortable standoff where the E5 takes a round. Looks like a heat round, but the 705 is now dead. So it's 2 versus 3. Marky stops to have a look to see if he can get shots. There's the Kranvarn's down there, or was last seen down there. E5's cautious about going around the corner. We lost the GWE 100. He was taken out by the Object 432. And now we're looking for the Kranvarn and the Skoda T50. Now he's still got plenty of rounds of heat to spare. In fact, actually, you can notice that that Marky loaded mostly APCR standard ammo, and he's carrying 6 rounds of heat ammo, but he's just not used it. So the penetration on this gun is good enough to make do with just standard ammo. And somebody's in the gap, but I don't think they'll be there for very long. Oh, almost drove into the wall there. I think he was so cautious that he's looking around trying to spot the Skoda or the Kranvarn. He doesn't want to get caught in the rear unexpectedly. He's anticipating they're going to come up behind him. And he's been spotted. Oh, and that was a heat round hitting the ground there. I'm pretty sure that was a heat round because there wasn't the usual explosion, just a sort of like fizzle as it went in. And another one. Yes, it is a heat round. So rather expensive shots there by the enemy. Don't know which one it is. It could be either of them, the Skoda or the Kranvarn. The T110E5 is holding the other corner. Oh, well, we know now it's not the Skoda. He's at the other end of the street next to the railway yards. So it's either the Object 432 or the Kranvarn. I think it's probably the Kranvarn. And he's trying to use the rubble as shield just in case the enemy comes around the corner. Trouble is, if he does go around that corner, even side scraping, he's going to have a bit of difficulty. It's the 430 is around the corner. Seen him. There's the Kranvarn, and he takes out the 430 with a shot in the side, but takes a round from the Kranvarn for 500 hit points, 514, and that now drops him down to a one shot, 406 hit points. So he doesn't really want to get hit again if he can help it. It's getting very tense. T110E5's holding off his corner against the Skoda T50. So 2 versus 2. I'm not sure who actually has the advantage here. But E5's coming around the corner into the square. Is he going to find out where the Kranvarn is? Oh, Kranvarn's down that road. He's going to try and side scrape off the corner. Okay. E5 just took a hit and he's gone. So it's now 1 versus 2. Skoda T50 got him. Now this means they could actually come at him from different angles. Oh, he puts one round into the Kranvan. 381. There's the Skoda. And he puts one into him as well for 451. They're both one-shots now. But he is now down to just 32 hit points. He's in reload. If they come at him right now, he is going to be stuck. The Kranvan's trying to get round behind him. They're trying to catch him in the crossfire. They don't know he's in reload. There's the Skoda. He bounces one off him and he fires one back as... Oh, yes! Takes out the Kranvan as well. And that's the game. God, he fired at the Skoda just as the reload completed. And then the Kranvan timed it wrong, came around the corner, and he was taken out as well. And it's an ace tanker for Marky 12 in the Emil II. He got a bruiser, a duelist, a fighter badge, and a fire for effect out of the minor medals. He got a Spartan medal for bouncing around from that Skoda just as he was firing and taking him out. And he also picked up a high caliber as well for getting the most damage in the battle. Wow. Let's have a look at the team score. And we can see when it comes to damage, yep, top of the table, 5,590 hit points of damage. T57 heavy on the enemy team got 4,357. And the E100, 450 on his own team. When it came to kills, it was actually the IS-7 on his own team did best. He got 5 kills in total. Marky only managed to get 4, and so did the Kranvan. And so if the Kranvan had actually killed him, then the Kranvan would have equaled the IS-7, but wouldn't have beat him on hit points. And when it came to base XP, it was definitely Marky 12 with 1,451, 1123 to the IS-7, and 972 to that E5. He fired 20 rounds during that game, got 19 direct hits and 15 penetrations, so good accuracy. Damage of 5,590 hit points, and all of it was at close range. He received 6 hits from the enemy, 4 penetrations, 2 non-penetrations. One of those was the Skoda T50 shot right at the end, which bounced or glanced off his turret. And he blocked damage of 760 hit points in total. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4 of them. And on a free-to-play account, he earned 46,901 credits. And after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, took away 5,289 credits. He received 1,451 XP, got 160 for personal missions payout, and took away 1,611 altogether. So a very tense ending there where the Kranvan actually screwed it up right at the end, because if he come around the corner at the same time as the Skoda did, then he would have got the victory, because it would have been impossible for Marky to reload his shell in time and get a shot into the Kranvan to finish him off as well. In fact, he just would have caught him while he was shooting at the Skoda, and with the turret facing the opposite direction. So, yeah, bad news for the Kranvan, good news for Marky, and another victory and another ace tanker. If you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and we'll get great replays like this all the time very shortly. So do stay tuned to our channel. Thanks for watching.